Hello. Welcome back to session number 3 of the Marriage Marathon. We are Vito and Linda of Unique Couples, and we just want to welcome you to another session as we have been having a great time thus far. Our first session, which was at 10 a.m., was overcoming communication burnout, which Linda and I spoke on. Then 11 a.m., we had overcoming marital conflict with Dr. and Mistress Elvis and Stephanie Burrows. And now at 12 noon, we're going to be talking about overcoming lack of couples vision. And that's going to be done by Glen and Keshelle Davis, and they're going to be introduced very shortly. So go ahead and type in hashtag live squad. For those of you that'll be watching the replay, go ahead and type in hashtag replay. You want to make sure you get your drinks, get your notepad. You want to take notes. We're going to be in for another great, energetic session.
Oh, yes. Can't wait. Live squatters, go ahead. Hashtag live squad. And then share. We're always saying that, and we're saying this again. Share to help, right? Share to help. Your marriage is not a marathon. Your marriage is not a sprint. It's a marathon. So we're in it for the long haul in our relationships. And during that process, we need to continually be doing stuff to really strengthen our relationship because we grow and change over time. And so we're so happy that Dr. Glen and Keshelle are here to talk to us today about, and I know this is something related to what Keshelle does, and she does so much more of that. So we'll just introduce them, just a brief introduction in terms of the dream building and making sure. So I know this is like the perfect kind of topic, for you to share on with us today.
Yes. And it kind of ties in with our theme, marriage overcomers, thriving in this season and the next.
Yes.
So
and before I forget, those of you who have not received your workbook as yet, or you didn't register, go ahead and register. We'll put the link in the comments. Register for your workbook. You will be able to use that even after the sessions. It has just so much activities that you can do related to even building, your relationship and for each of the sessions. So go ahead and register for that. You'll be able to use it after the sessions as well.
Yes. Yeah. Dr. Glen Davis has 26 years experience in the private and commercial banking sector and 13 years experience in academics. He is currently employed as a professor at the University of the Bahamas, where he teaches business management, human resource management, and marketing in the School of Business and Hospitality, where he is also the chairperson.
And Keshelle is the business growth mentor and CEO of the Training Authority, an award-winning, internationally recognized business education and consulting organization in the Bahamas, which she is doing an awesome job with, mentoring a whole lot of ladies, especially in the boardroom, which, yes, so I'm so happy for that. Boardroom ladies, go ahead and definitely show yourselves. So I'm so happy for that. Business coach. And so, she is one of our coaches. And so we're all excited about that. She is the former executive director of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce at the Chamber of Institute and the author of 2 books. and creator of the popular program. What I was talking, one of them, I was talking about the Dream Board Party Experience and the Planners Retreat and Make It Real method, which really works. So all of you who want to do an online business or have some kind of online course, Keshelle is the person to see about that. Her mission is to spread knowledge so that together we can progress our world.
Glen and Keshelle have been married for 8 years and they love traveling, running, educating, empowering, and impacting people together.
Yes. Did Dr. Glenn win an award or something at COB? I don't know. Did he win or he came in something with that prize? And I
Running prize.
right?
Fitness.
Be fit.
Oh yeah, that was the fun run walk.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
awesome.
yes. And then of course you let us know about your book. I know we didn't it wasn't there, but I know there's a book.
You got a book coming out.
Yes.
I'm in the process of writing a book on
Written the
fasting. It's at the publishers now, so in another few weeks we'll be doing the launch of the book.
Awesome. Yeah, I love books. So like when they come out, yeah, I love books. Yeah. So awesome. Congratulations. We'll hear more about that, right?
Yes. Thank you.
So we'll now turn it over to Glen and Keshelle.
Hi, Tarsi. Hi, Simone. All of you, go ahead and share. Let us know. We didn't like y'all have to be engaged. They didn't know about the prize. Okay, so you're getting prizes. Stay engaged. We are giving away Amazon gift cards. Stay engaged. Comment and chat. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Questions for Keshelle and Glen, put them in the chat. And
share, like,
yes,
tag.
let us know your takeaways and tags as well. And show them some love. Yes. Okay, so I'm ready to take notes.
Turn it over to you, Glen and Keshelle.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm just doing a quick share. All right, good. All right, so I want to thank you all for coming. And our topic is a really, really big one to us. We are passionate about it, and that's overcoming the lack of couples' vision in marriage. We, Glen and I, truly believe that without a vision in marriage, you really missing out on something that's going to propel your marriage into even greater heights. And so when we think about vision itself, I believe the single most important gift that God has given us individually is the gift of vision. And collectively, that gift even expands because it's really a way for us to determine exactly the life that we are creating and the purpose that we're here on this planet. No knowable or noteworthy thing was done without vision, right? No invention, no development, no great feat, no accomplishment was done without the power of vision. And imagine what your marriage, what your life, what your community, what the people, your circle of influence can look like, can be like, if you and your spouse have a strong vision together. And so today, Glen and I are going to really talk about what it takes to craft your vision. Well, of course, to overcome the lack of it. And then most importantly, what do you need to do? How do you craft a vision for not only yourself, but your marriage? Because your marriage has been placed on this planet for a purpose, and the vision is the vehicle to get you there. Can you want to say something there?
The Bible declares that where there is no vision, the people perish. And so when we relate that to marriage, where there is no vision in the marriage may perish. And so it is important for us as couples to be able to think about what it is and to be deliberate. I like to talk about this word, intentionality. Mm-hmm. To be intentional and to be deliberate about what it is that you want from the marriage, what it is that you want from the relationship, what it is that you want to see your marriage become. And so for us, vision is a critical part of it. We don't only talk it, we live it.
Yeah. And then when you think of, the challenges that couples have without vision, it typically falls under these categories. It could be muddy, meaning it's, you really can't see, it's unclear, meaning you kind of have a vision, but you're not really clear as to which steps to take, where to go. It can be uninspiring, right? You have something, but does it really inspire you to wake up, to work through it, to get on the other side, or to achieve that vision? And then it could be buried, right? So it could be a place where it's there. It's not gone, but it's there. But it's so many things are burying that vision. Life, bills, babies, all of the things that takes our focus and time away, and fear from vision. And so our goal today is to give you 3 things or 3 steps on how to overcome the lack of a couple's vision. And if you're ready, get your pens, papers. If you're watching this, type in the chat, ready. I see Tossie, I see Simone here. Let me know if you're ready. And if you're watching the replay, also type ready and type replay. All right, so let's look at the 3 things, because our time is going to go very fast. This is a topic that we can talk on all day. Loaded. I am going to be very focused on the notes that you see we have, so we can stay on time. So step number 1 in creating the vision or overcoming your lack of your couple's vision is pause. You have to pause. You have to slow down, as I like to say, and speed up. So what does it take to pause? Take a break away from all of life. The song Stop the World and Let Me Off. That kind of has a double meaning, but the goal is pause, take a break from all of the day-to-day operations of your marriage, of your business, of your children, managing all of that, and create a space where you and your spouse can sit down and talk about the vision, right? And when you pause, the second thing that you want to do in this area is, I like to say, visit an Eden environment. That's what I love to call it. And an Eden environment is really connect. This is me. It can be something different for you and your spouse, but connect with nature. I believe nature has a fabulous way of allowing us to tap into something more than what we are faced with on a day-to-day basis. And it allows us to see just how expansive life is and how great God is, and it allows you to really take the time to expand your vision. So once you pause, step out of your environment, it can be, for me, I like nature.
Find that space or that place or that environment that works best for you, that is conducive for you thinking, conducive for you dreaming, imagining. Find that space, whatever that space means for you. Yours is nature.
I like nature. I love the ocean. I like being in the bush. Anywhere that kind of just surrounds me with nature. It doesn't have to be nature for you. It can be a luxury environment. It could be a hotel. Like Toshi says, get out of the house, because the house you consume with day-to-day reminders. Yes, the bush. Glen calls it the bush. It's really trees in the forest. But get out of the house, and that's really the point, because the house kind of reminds you what you need to do, what you need to fix, who you need, all the bills.
Kids.
Yes. So pause, create an environment, or step into an Eden environment. And the third thing under pause, and this is something that you can choose to do, is optional, but I found it, and we found it really useful. And that is, be around expansive people. All right. So all of this is under pause. What does that mean? Connect with people who are thinking, who are envisioning, who are dreaming, who are thinking, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years out. And that is important, because sometimes, especially if you have a lack of vision, it's not going to always begin to pour out of you. It's going to be very difficult to create that vision at the beginning. What makes it easier is to find other couples, find other people, find dreamers who are easily thinking. Like Glen and I, we talk about dreams all the time. So find us, find people who talk about it, because it's going to inspire you and your spouse to begin to free up your mind and know what's possible, and just give yourself permission to create this this vision that you are aiming for in your marriage. So that's step number one. Pause, slow down to speed up, find an Eden environment, and find expansive visionary people to begin the process of overcoming your lack of vision.
Yeah.
Step number two, see, you know it's a talk in the room. So step number one, pause. Step number two is picture. Okay. And so this is the one of my favorite parts, but you need to pause first in order to get here. And so picture is being able to see your preferred future. When I ask you, if I were to ask you, what does your marriage look like in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? What does it look like? And that's collectively, that's individually within your marriage. Your goal right now is to picture what you want your marriage and your life to be together. Now, how do you do that? This is the question. It's easy to say picture. How do you do that? Step number one is to ask yourself what I call the ultimate question. Okay. And the ultimate question is this. I want you to write this down because this is something that you want to ask yourself individually. This is something that you want to ask your spouse and discuss it amongst yourselves, because it's really going to allow you to open up and answer the question. And the ultimate vision is, if time, money, people's opinions, that's a big one, and fear were not factors, what do you truly want to be, do, have, or experience? ... That could be, again, individually and collectively. You want to answer it both ways. So if time, money, people's opinions, and fear were not factors, they're off the table, because usually they're the hindrances. What do you truly want to be, do, have, or experience within your marriage, right? And so your goal is, once you've created that space, to ask yourself those questions. And then we're going to talk about, now that you've begun to ask yourself those questions, what are the categories of vision that you and your spouse want to discuss, right? So Glen, we'll start there.
Before we even get into the category, one of the things I always advocate is that when you're thinking about the vision and where you want to see the marriage, I always say you must always put in there where you see yourself individually, and then where you see yourself as a couple. Because oftentimes what we do is put aside our personal goals and dreams at the expense of the marriage. And I remember saying this to Keshelle when we first started. I need to know what your personal goals are. I need to know what some of the things that you want to achieve as Keshelle. Because at the end of the day, I don't want us to be so focused on our marriage or on the things that we want as a couple, and you lose your individuality. And then later on in life, have regrets because you feel like you didn't achieve some things personally because of the marriage, or end up resenting each other because you didn't get a chance to be you, or to live some of the things that you want to live as a person. And so when you're in this dreaming stage and this picturing stage, picture some things for yourself as a person, as an individual, what it is that you would like to achieve, and also what you would like to achieve for the marriage or as a couple. All right. And
be open to each other's individual goals, because sometimes, again, we can be so, we talk about, we are one as husband and wife, but we are also individuals as well. And sometimes we could easily neglect our desires and our dreams for the sake of our marriage. And then you realize that perhaps you're resenting over time your spouse or your marriage, and that is not what it is. And then, of course, if your personal individual dreams are not met, you're not going to be as motivated or interested to meet the marriage's goals and dreams. And so it's very important to have both.
Yes, because it could be a point of contention in a marriage. You talk about communication and conflict before. It could be a point of conflict. One of the examples we have was when I met Keshelle, one of our individual goals was to travel. Mine was not. Ironically, you may see us travel now, but it was never a goal of mine to travel. I hated planes, y'all. And
You
so
believe that?
what I did, I allow her to go. And so I would say to her, babes, you have to go. Love will be right here, waiting at home when you get back. And so she traveled for a while. But guess what? A part of me being open to her dream and her vision and her goals, I became open to the idea of traveling. And now she can't leave this island without me because I will go everywhere that she goes.
So yeah, you don't know how it eventually becomes
Evolve.
a couple's
Yeah.
goal, but be very mindful that you want to have your individual goals and dreams and desires as well. So the 5 life areas, when we look at now, how do you define it? On the picture, what are you picturing? These are the 5 life areas. Now we can go deep into this topic. We only have a few moments to kind of briefly give an overview. If you want, we'll tell you how to find out more going forward. So livelihood and lifestyle. Oh, you want to take that one?
Yeah, so let me run with livelihood and lifestyle. So for livelihood and lifestyle, so this is a broad area. When you're thinking of your goals and what you want to achieve under this life area, you want to talk about what you want to achieve in business, what you want to achieve in your career. What are some of the financial goals that you may want to achieve? What it is that you want from work? What it is that you want your home to look like? Your personal space. What are some of the things that you want to possess? What are some of the things that you want to have? Jewelry, where you want to travel. What are some of the resources that you may want to have as a part of your individual or couple's goal? Yeah. And so under livelihood and lifestyle, you think about some of these things when you're doing your brainstorming or your picturing. The next area is the area of body and wellness. This is very critical, ladies and gentlemen. When we talk about body and wellness, you want to think about health, healing, fitness. I know a lot of times we're afraid of the word fitness or exercise.
Wellness.
But, the Bible talks about being in good health. Talk about your soul prospering. And so you just don't want to prosper financially, having things. You also want to prosper physically, be in good health. What are some of the food you want to eat? What are some of the things you want to do to rest and to relax? All of this comes on the body and wellness. So it's not just exercising and working out. It may having that peace of mind, having that tranquility, that place where you feel relaxed and at home. And so think about those things that you want to achieve on the body and wellness.
And again, just make it, what you do together and individual, and don't judge each other's goals. It's very easy because most marriage couples, and this is maybe a broad brush, husband and wife are different from each other. So don't judge your spouse's goal because you wouldn't do it. Allow them to dream because you want to encourage that. I remember, when I came to you and I say, look, I need my space. I love my husband. We like being together, but I need my space. And we talk about body and wellness. What makes me feel well and whole and full and, rejuvenated? I need some time alone. And so several years ago, I'd say at least once a year. Sometimes I like to do it twice a year, but at least once a year, I go on a solo vacation. We don't call it vacation, but it's my solo sabbatical. That's it. My solo sabbatical. At least once a week in a year, up to 7, sometimes more. And that's the one time he ain't coming with me, y'all. Don't bother me. Because that's my time to just be in my own space.
Until you start to see the googly eyes to say, okay, I miss you now. Pack up and come home.
Sometimes I even would do, and I'll go to the island. Sometimes I'll do a one-way ticket because I'm like, I'm going to create that space. And then when I see the googly eye, I'm like, okay, time to go. But, again, know what you need for your own wellness and your own, health and mental health in your space. And be very upfront and honest with what you need. Communicate with that spouse and find that middle ground.
And even though we're talking about these goals as a couple, you have to know the dynamics of your relationship and what will work best. I know one of the things for us, I'm an early morning person. So I'm up 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm up on full speed, full charge, and alert. All right? That's not my wife time. And so in terms of our fitness regimen or exercise routine, I can't get this lady to get up 5, 6 o'clock to exercise.
Not every day.
Period.
I get it once in a while.
Once in a blue moon, but that don't work for me if we want to do it together as a couple. And so what I would do, I would get up my 5, 6 o'clock in the morning and do my thing and allow her to get up 9, 10 o'clock and do her thing. We still got our fitness goals in. Then at some point in time, we decide when we're going to do it together, we craft a time. And so one of the things that happened when we first started to do it, I started to get agitated because I'm a 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock person. And she is not up on alert. I started to get agitated. I'm like, you want us to do this thing as a couple, and at 6 o'clock in the morning, you drag in, miss me with that, right? But I had to learn that that's not where she get the best part of her day and her energy. And so I had to find a way to make it work without it being a point of contention. Yeah. And so that's one of the things to think about. Even though we're talking about doing things as a couple, there may be times when, because we're different, because we're two separate individuals, we don't think the same, we don't act the same, come to a compromise so we can still achieve the goal. We still achieve the goal of body awareness.
Yeah, that's good. So that's the first two. We're going to speed it up a little bit because I know, again, time can run. The next two is creativity and learning. And so this has to do with how your interest, your self-expression, your education, hobbies, adventure. What are you doing, again, individually and together to have that ability to learn, to get creative, to have some adventure? When was the last time you and your spouse did something fun, adventurous, where you tapped into your hobbies, where you tapped into your interests, again, individually and together, because that makes life and marriage more refreshing. It takes really it creates an opportunity to bond with your spouse. And so that is something that we as marriage couples, I think, forget, because again, the bills, the babies, all of the stuff that we tend to deal with, and we forget that there's a whole part of us, again, when we say us individually and collectively, that we are not tapping into and we are missing out. Last week we did.
When was the last time you actually did a course together?
That's another
as a
thing.
couple. You know what I'm saying? Sit down and learn something together, something that's going to enrich the marriage, something going to enrich you from an education, from a knowledge standpoint. I know a lot of times, and again, when we started this was Keshelle's idea. She would sign us up for couples retreat, couples courses, or she would sign us up for something just to get knowledge in an area. And sometimes I would be pissed. I'm like, oh my God, this girl's signing us up for something again. But all it took for me was to just be open-minded. And I found that after I become open-minded, I was able to enjoy whatever it is. And at the end of the day, it enhanced us as a couple. It enhanced our knowledge and it built our relationship.
Yeah. And so learn together, right? That's something that is so easy to do that I don't feel couples are doing enough of. Sign up. I signed him up for another course not too long ago. He know that yet. You see? But he's more open now than he was a long time ago.
Much more open.
I can tell you later about that.
I'm learning live and on this call. You've gotten it exclusively. I've been signed up for a course.
Yes,
which course?
I'm telling you. I can't tell you online. We tell you afterwards.
All
but
right.
make time to learn together. It could be, again, about the marriage. It could be something that's, again, hobby related. So do something together. And then the last thing in that area is have fun together. Not just have fun. The last thing that we had a lot of fun this month. But I think the biggest one for me was the hot air balloon, right? And that was something that we kind of toggled with because it wasn't cheap, but we was like, you know what, this is an opportunity to experience something that perhaps so many people don't. And it really, again, created that connection in our marriage. So do something out of the ordinary that allows you to feel that sense of creativity and adventure in your marriage as well.
And what these things do, you get learning moments and learning experience. Just being up in the air, 10,000 feet, 8,000 feet up in the air, and just seeing the stillness, the calmness. We were able to just learn from that. All that fear and all that apprehension and all that assumption and all that fright and all that what you think is going to happen up in the air in a hot air balloon. None of that existed while we were there.
Yeah, we cannot wait to do it again. So that's number 3. Number 4 is relationship and society. And so this is where you define your vision around what romance looks like to you, right? Define it. There's a thing on Netflix on sex rooms, right? We married couples. And so that's something that I told him, like, we have to watch because it enhances the romance in your marriage. What does friendship look like to you? What does family look like to you? What relationships and the communities you want to be in together and individual? Who are the people you want to meet? Write those down again, individually and collectively, and discuss it, and then come up with a plan.
And what does intimacy looks like and feels like to you? I know a lot of times us as men, we don't like to have that intimacy conversation because we think we know, we think we have the answers, we think we beating it bad, and we think we killing it. And a lot of times if these women want to be honest with us, we ain't beating nothing, we ain't killing nothing. Sometimes it just takes to have that conversation so you could know what it takes to please your wife, your significant other, what it takes to take them to that place of ecstasy. Talk about it. Take lessons from your woman as to what it is that she knows her body and she knows what she wants and what takes it to that point. Listen, guys, and take lessons, learn, so you can, at the end of the day, you want to be able to please that person. You don't want to assume that you're pleasing the person. You want to be able to please them. So have that conversation. A lot of times we don't want to have that conversation, but I'm telling you, have it. Let her tell you what takes it to that point, because you could be beating the air bad and nothing else.
Obviously, he is very passionate about that. And we are still talking about vision because it goes into how do you want the intimate part of your marriage and your life to look like. That's a vision. And especially if you're not satisfied with where you are now, that's a vision. And if you are satisfied, could it get better?
Yeah.
Always yes. And so, we are still talking about vision. So the 5th life area, or the fifth vision area, you want me to take that too? Yeah. Is essence and spirituality. And so that has to do with, what you want to have who do you want to be as an individual and as a couple? What does your purpose look like? What does your soul, how do you want your soul to operate? What are your practices around faith and intuition? It really goes into who do you want to be? Do you want to be, we always talk about it together. Our vision, a big part of our vision in this area is generosity. We want to be generous. We want to be even more generous. And so we want to embody that as much as we can. And we talk more about that because that is a vision of ours around generosity, right? Giving. Yeah.
And so why that is critical. We don't want, when I decide that I have something or someone that I want to give, I want to bless, Keshelle is enough feelings because I'm giving the money away. But if we have it as a part of our goals and we budget in for it and we talking about it, we having that conversation, when it's time to bless somebody, it won't be a point of contention. And once we discuss these things and we talk about them, we agree to them as a couple, it takes away all of that contention. It takes away all of the misconception and the disagreement, because it's a part of our shared vision.
Yes. So those are the 5 life areas. And, again, as a recap, livelihood and lifestyle, body and wellness, creativity and learning, relationships and society, essence and spirituality. I know we ran through those very quickly. Again, we'll tell you how to reach us and how you can reach more of it. But the last point is
pen. So we talk about pause, and we talk about picture. All that what we just talk about is looking at the picture by looking at different areas. Now we're talking about pen. And when we talk about pen, we want to talk about writing it down. The Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. Put it there on paper so you can be able to see it. And why this is important is that we can talk about it, we can picture it, but as human beings, we may sometimes forget that we talk about something. And so again, I am doing something that's a part of the vision and you didn't remember it, it could become a point of contention and disagreement. But if we have it where we have it written down on paper here, we talk about this was a part of the goal, we have it written down, you can tick it off as you achieve. All right. If somebody forget, it could be a reminder to remember this was a part of our goals. And so it helps you to work better, it helps you to work seamlessly, and it helps you to flow together as a couple.
Yes. Yeah. And this is where you begin to create the springboard for your vision board.
Yeah.
Right? And so, you've pictured it, you've written it down. Now you're taking those goals, that vision, and turning it into a dream board or a vision board. Again, we don't have as much time to talk into it. And really is a visual representation of what you want your life to look like, inclusive of your marriage. Again, we do individual boards as well as we do collective board. And that collective board has all of the couples goals, the marriage goals. And we have it where we can see, like mine right now, I have several, but mine, I'm literally pointing at mine in the office. But it's really, again, a visual representation. And I encourage that every single marriage should have a dream board, a vision board of what you want to create together. If you don't have one, you are doing your marriage a disservice. Now, even that, we have to update ours. We really do. But if you've not done it before, that's something that you can create a project and carve out time to begin to do that, because it really propels you and your marriage forward, because you don't have an excuse. You can literally see your vision in real picture, in real time, in a visual way.
So we could wrap and close on that for the interest of time. I think we give you a lot to bite on and to chew on, and so we want to open up the floor for questioning or give some information of how you can be contacted for further information.
So just say that, listen, we have so much more that we could talk about on this topic, but we want to also honor the time. If you have any questions around creating individual goals, dreams, as well as and couples goals, you're great for your marriage, you can reach directly out to me, although Glen probably responds much faster. Keshelle Davis, my name should be on the screen. Keshelle Davis, reach out to me via any social media platform. I will be able to respond to you.
Awesome.
Yes, and this is just like, so needed. Couples being aware and just having that vision, not just for yourselves, like Dr. Glen said, not just for yourself, but together. And I like how he said, you know what, I want to know what goals you have as an individual, so that, hey, no resentment comes up later. Like, what it is I want, what we want to accomplish, what you want to accomplish. We put that together, and that could be the start of just creating this dream life, this marriage of your dreams together, because you're both accomplishing your dreams. So we love that 3-step process: pause, picture, and definitely pen. Write it down. We had a lot of comments in the chat. If you have any questions, go ahead and put those in. If we don't get to your questions, we will get them later as well. And those of you who will watch the replay, go ahead and put in your questions as well and type your comments. Those of you who have not received your book as yet, or you did not register to receive your workbook, be sure to go ahead and register. The link is in the comments. Go ahead and do that. So we have a question as it relates to couples who, they're together, and the issue is, she has dreams and goals that she wants to accomplish, but her husband is laid back and doesn't want to do anything. Like, what do they do?
Take that one.
The key to that is being able to have the conversation, right? And it comes back to communication. A lot of times it's how we communicate our thoughts, feelings, and desires. Find a way to phrase it in such a way that you're not pointing the finger at the person. You don't want me to do this. You don't want me to do that. I'm trying to see, once you phrase it like this, then people gonna get on the defensive. But if you can put it in a way like, tell me some of the things that you would like to do, and so I share some of the things that I would like to do. How can I help you achieve that? And how can you help me to achieve this? And so if we phrase it and frame it in such a way, it can get the person's attention. But if we bring it in a point of contention, as good as it may sound and look, that good The Bible says, don't let your good be evil spoken of. It could turn into something negative. So you want to be able to communicate that clearly and show why it's important to you and how can the person help you to get to.
And then there's always something behind it when someone says they don't have, or you feel that they're laid back, right? I truly believe, again, that's a gift that we were given by God, a gift of vision, having a dream. Everyone has some vision, goal, dream that your spouse included that they want to achieve. But it could have been, again, it could be muddy, it could be buried, it could be unclear. And so it may take more time for the wife and patience for the wife to begin to unbury and uncover what that her spouse's dream is. And so you don't want to get upset because it makes things worse. But find ways, like I say, when there's certain things that, I wanted to do that Glen was like, I ain't into. And I'm like, I'm not going to give up on my dream because I'm not going to feel resentful in my marriage. And so it's finding a way. So I said, babe, I found the right time, babes, this is what, I want us to do. And then there were times when we had to negotiate, right? So he was like, just talk about the workshop again. He is spending 3 hours in a workshop. Okay, can you spend an hour? I'm mad because he was spending an hour, but at least he's spending an hour, right? That's the first step. And then after the time, he would be, well, I enjoy that, or whatever the case may be. So sometimes you have to take very baby steps with your spouse. Don't try to have that person move at your pace, because that's where it becomes much more frustrating. And then also be very open, as he mentioned earlier. Your spouse may not be at a space and a time and a season for them to maybe want to work on anything right now. Do you have permission or the ability to work on yours? You continue to work on yours, and that may inspire your spouse to do something with their lives. Hopefully it inspires them, right? And so it's a work in progress.
That was a good one. It happens often.
Yeah, and that's so important, to be able to allow the person to move at their pace, because sometimes we want it done, how we want it done and at our pace. But just like we have different love languages, we express love differently, we think differently, we're from different backgrounds, we're from different homes. So I mean, the fact that you were born, you're different from anybody else, right? But when it comes to marriage, we expect everything to be the same. We expect our spouse to, yes, we'll have similar interests, but sometimes, your interests, you might be, all out. Everybody knows I go all out in almost everything, but that doesn't necessarily be how it has to be for Vito or how it has to be for your spouse. Just be aware of that and have those conversations, have those conversations.
Add one other quick thing.
Go ahead.
Again, we talk about conversation. Men and women operate differently when it comes to, probably most things. I remember there was a time in our marriage when Glen was working on his doctorate. I was always visionary, and he was too. But in that season, whenever I came to him with certain goals and things, that we wanted to do together, he was not interested. And it was because in his mind, and he said it to me as well, look, this is my focus right here. I am not doing anything else until I get this done. Me, who like to do 3 or 4 things, I could multitask very quickly. It became very difficult at first to say, okay, all right, he has to finish this in order for us to do something else. But I had to be patient. I had to respect that, because that's how he thinks and how he operates. Now that that's behind us, we are moving towards the things that, I had talked about, I brought up earlier in our marriage. And so again, it's just having that patience and recognize that there may be he's one track. So allow that person to finish perhaps what they're focused on, and then create space. The good thing is you're together forever, whatever forever becomes to you. And so you have the time to really to be patient.
And one of the things too we want to keep in the forefront of our minds, we are different. And usually when you find 2 people together, they're night and day. Like I am day and Keshelle is night. We're not alike.
I am the day.
See, you can't even get it together. Opposites. And so we're not going to be thinking alike. And the key is just to be patient with each other.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely. We have to use our differences as strength. That makes us, that strengthens the bond that we have together as a couple, as a family, and that is so important. So it's you said they can contact you for to find out more about creating this vision. If they want to do this, they can contact you at Keshelle Davis. That's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Okay, yes, LinkedIn as well. Okay, so you could go ahead and do that. And then, of course, we will listen out for more on Dr. Glen Davis's book that's coming up. He said, be patient with each other. That's definitely what we need to do. So we're giving out prizes. We have a prize. Who's going to be our lucky winner?
Yes, who is our winner for this session?
I was in and out of the stream, so I don't have everybody on this. I'd have to look on that.
Yeah, this session has a lot of comments as well.
Yes. Bring it on. Remember to share. I love it. The fact that even after this is over, some people can still come in and watch and learn and share and definitely have growth and just get something. There's always something for us to take away. There's always something in it for us. It might not be the whole watermelon, but something, spit out the seeds, take what is for you. And so we do have a winner, and she said vision board for your marriage as a couple. Yes, you definitely need that. And our winner of our Amazon gift card for this segment is, drum roll. You didn't do any drum roll. Our winner is okay, you hit the name. Okay, Randy A. Claire Smith Riviera. Go ahead and email us at I finally did it, Keshelle. I got it last night actually.
Who's that? Oh, good.
Yeah, so
email us at info@uniquecouples.com. Email us. Email us there, and you will be able to get your Amazon gift card. Those of you who have not registered as yet to get your workbook and the 21 date night ideas, go ahead and register, get the workbook and those 21 date night ideas. It's always important for us to just keep learning, growing, connecting with our spouse. And it's not a one-time thing. That's what we want people to understand. And that's why we have our Unique Couples Marriage Club. We encourage people to, be in a community. And Keshelle said it earlier, connect with expansive people. Yeah. Yes, be in that space, be in that community. And so we do have our Unique Couples community. So for married couples, so if you're a married couple, you're serious about your relationship, want to take it to the next level, get those daily tips and activities, what he does, she does, all of those different things. Get your spouseology degree, learn more about your spouse, join us in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. We also we spoke about it earlier, right? The communication workshop. We know communication is the foundation of everything. All of these conversations, you need to be able, issues in your marriage, you need to be able to communicate, to talk about it and understand each other, not just talk, but truly understand each other. So we have that. We will be doing our live session in Grand Bahama. So those of you who are in Grand Bahama, you get to do that August 23rd. Join us live for our communication workshop. And then, of course, those of you who will join us from around the world virtually, you can do that as well. The link is in the description. Go ahead and connect and join us for that. Yes.
So we had fun on this session, overcoming lack of couples vision. And Glen and Keshelle, they did an excellent job. If you just came on, you want to go ahead and watch the replay, because I'm going to watch this replay as well, because there was a lot of nuggets. They basically talked about all areas of your marriage, all areas of life. So vision is very important. So our first topic, we spoke on overcoming communication burnout. Then we talked about overcoming marital conflict. And this topic here was overcoming lack of couples vision in marriage. And our next presenter is going to be talking about overcoming differences.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a big one.
So you see, we have this lineup in place today here on the Unique Couples Marriage Marathon. So you want to make sure you tune in. We're going to give you guys about 5 minutes before the next session starts.
Yeah, I have to shout out. Hello, Karen. I have to shout out some people. Hello, Tarsi. Thanks for joining us. Lutisha and all of you. I can't see all the names, so some of them went. But thanks for joining us. Come into the next session. The numbers are climbing and we're ending.
Yes, we want to
So y'all have to come back and watch the replay for this.
Exactly. So thank you, Glen and Keshelle. Great job. And thank you, Unique Couples community. Here at Unique Couples, we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. We love you guys. See you in 5 minutes at 1 p.m.
Yes. Next session. We'll see y'all later. Bye. Thank you so much.
At Wright's Enterprise, our slogan is Dreams on Wheels. Let us customize a trailer to accommodate your business's needs. From clothing and apparel, shoes and accessories, to hair and nails, we are the perfect choice for your mobile business. Contact 646-8464 for more info and follow us on IG at Wrights_Enterprise 242.